Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late today. The most interesting man in comics. Talk about comics I love that kind of influenced me. And today I'm going to talk more about European comics and such. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about that specifically is, and the reason why I got into it all is because, yes, and this is why we're at this bookcase, and you're probably wondering, what are all these magazines? Well, they are what got me into comics. Not into comics, but into European comics. And that is right, heavy metal. Yes, I have a beard, you're just jealous. Love this cover here because if you notice, that's Tamra from the movie fame, which few people only remember the movie. But it's been publishing all this time. I mean, look at that date compared to, you can see all the, I mean, this is what, well, Tank Girl was, yeah, see, I never got into Tank Girl until later myself, and that was more British, if you would. And I say that because the French and the Italians are very different in their sort of how they do comics and all that. But I've been collecting heavy metals for years. Okay, some of this are older people's collections because that's why it still has the shipping cover still on it. And I really want to show the insides, but I'm afraid is that a lot of it will be not appropriate for Facebook, because it's one of the things growing up why you would love heavy metal, because it had lots and lots of boobies. Mind you, it'd show you penis too. I mean, you'd see a floppy dong right next to, you know, whoop. And the interesting thing with it now is it's still going strong. And Grant Morrison of, comic book fame of writing so many books that a lot of people like. But it's like I was talking last time on how you can get older stuff for manga. You can also get old stuff that you normally wouldn't have been able to get with European comics. One of the ones that I was super excited to be able to get was Barbarella. Because, I seen the movie and all of that, and I knew it was a comic, and I've been wanting to see it so long, but I actually get to finally read it, and in such a lovely format, too. It is just a real treat on like with the Valorant, that movie that just came out. I know it unfortunately didn't do too well, but I'm excited to be able to finally get to see that. And let's see, where's some of the other ones I grew up with. Yes. This one was, this is more of an art book, but these are some of the more classic art from the 90s version of heavy metal. And unfortunately, I can't say his name, but he recently passed. So it's kind of sad. But if you can see, though, his stuff is so amazing. And that's why I love about comics. You get so many different styles. It's different from the American stuff versus the what you can get from manga. So you get so many different treats. Of course, this will be an interesting one to bring up because Milo Manara, I've always loved his stuff, but he's gotten a lot of flack in recent years because of his, how do people put it, his unrealistic covers and all of that. But I grew up on it because he does the sexy, and he does it very well. And it's in such a kind of clean, minimalist style that it's really fun. And another one that I definitely cannot flip through, that I grew up with, and I still love, is Durna, done by Sir Epi. See if I can find a page where I can show you the art to where it's not super in trouble. Whoa, not many. Jeez. I mean, the man makes Frank Cho look like a slacker. For those who don't know who Frank Cho is, he's a guy who he was known for his detailed European hashwork stuff, but he only does it for like covers and stuff. If you read his books, he does a much simpler style. But if you look at yes, and that's her everyday clothes, which she runs out of that really quick. That's why I got to be careful. Otherwise, you're going to see some, some dirty stuff. But it's just, as I'm emphasizing, just great. All the stuff that you couldn't used to get unless you had heavy metal and all that. Like this one, this is just so gorgeous. And it's cool because this is a World War II, spy drama, which superheroes are kind of dominate our American landscape, and shonen fights or girl love mangas dominate our manga. So we do get a nice, change of pace. What also I love about these is, if you notice, they love doing it in the oversized format. They want it, big. They want you to see the full pages. Oh, focus, you stupid phone. Of course, you see they still do love their TNA and all that. But it is just so gorgeous in these oversized pages. You just get to enjoy so much of it. And it's funny because American known creators like Julian March and such, they also will do European style comics, and then they get re-released over here because they get to do this fun style as well. Oh, well, be safe there, Robert. Don't watch and drive. Because even Terry Dodson, who's definitely a known American comic book creator, he's done Spider-Man, he's done X-Men and all that, but he did, your stuff overseas too, because you get the different, freedom of doing all these gorgeous books and such. And so that's, oh, yeah, this is why I'm sitting over here, because I have so many other examples of it. Because, like, here's one to where Chris Claremont of X-Men fame, he had a Red Sonja story, but it was a little too raw. So it was released more as a European style too. So it's interesting to, see how that has influenced a lot of people, but yet it doesn't get as much traction as as manga does, because manga the kids like, and it's all hip and with it. But European comics are just as fresh and promoting a lot of different things as well. So it's funny how people kind of pick and choose all that, and that's one of the reasons I'm showcasing all these different works, is because I want to show, what you're potentially missing out on. Everyone kind of gets focused on the other books and all that, and they're like, oh, well, I got to read my Deadpool and my X-Men, and that's fine. But you should at least be aware of that, aware of all this other stuff, and then you can go, nah, I'm going to take a pass on that, which is fine. but I want you to be informed of what you are potentially, missing out on. And that's why I'm sharing this. And I just really love heavy metal. I have been collecting it since... Let's look at these dates here. Yeah. I've been collecting it since like 94 when I was in high school. And I have not stopped collecting it since. As you can just see, and again, I just don't get tired because, I mean, just look. Okay, it has a lot of chick-oriented stuff. And that's kind of the appeal, but it's called heavy metal. It's not called, sensitive, but it's you get a different, mature type of story, and you get to see so many different styles, and it's an anthology based. And oops. So you get a lot of different content. And that's Harlan Ellison's in that. But that's what I mainly wanted to talk about today was European comics. And it kind of turned into a love letter to heavy metal, but I grew up, like I said, on heavy metal. But as you can see coming up, there's so many other comics I'm going to be talking about. Next week, though, I'm going to talk about actual Marvel comics. And there's all like, well, that sounds like low-hanging fruit. It's like, no, because I don't read Marvel comics anymore because they've kind of gone away that I don't appreciate. But I still enjoy the old stories. And I still, enjoy superhero comics, so I'm not going to shy away from that. And since this is all about talking about how I love comics, I'm going to talk about all that I grew up with. Like if you can see there, the official handbooks of the Marvel Universe. That is what I grew up with as well. That really informed my superhero knowledge and so forth. So thank you for staying with me and enjoying me just going over all this heavy metal and other cool, dirty comics. And check us out on duskpublishing.com. I'm the most interesting man in comics.